Alright, welcome back. Another way that we go about describing or showing a representation of a fraction is to use shapes. And a type of question you may be asked in mathematics is to represent a fraction as a fraction of a shape, or by shading in the area of a shape. So for this particular type of question, we have represent the fraction 2/5 in the following three shapes. Now, what we're going to be interested in to start off with is the denominator. The total number of areas we need to have in the shape has to be equal to 5. So if we draw ourselves a circle, that is going to be as good as it gets, we're going to divide this into 5 distinct areas. Okay, they don't necessarily have to be equal in your picture. Obviously they should be, but it's a little bit difficult to do that. So we've got 3, 4 and 5. And 5. Okay, those are roughly equal. And that's probably as good as I'm going to get. And the next ones are going to look at shade 2 out of 5 of these areas. So the fraction can be represented by essentially shading 2 of 5 of these wedges. Alright? Pretty basic idea. You just make the shape, and then you break it up into its amount of areas that you want. And then you shade the area that you have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 of these areas are going to be shaded. For a triangle, I mean, I don't think there's a really good way to do it, but just try your best to break it up into 5 pieces. Let's just go with something like this. Don't worry so much if it's not equal at the moment. We're just trying to represent a concept. So, 2 of these will then be shaded. Okay, so that's really it for this skill. It's not particularly difficult, but you will get a lot of questions that will essentially ask you to represent an area, a fraction as an area of a shape, or to follow up an operation by showing how you've gone from one fraction to another in a kind of graphical way. Alright, here are some practice questions for you to give a go, and just give them the best shot, and remember, don't be too fussy about them being perfectly equal, and I will solve them for you in just a second. Alright, let's solve these. So let's draw our circle and our rectangle and our triangle. Right, let's break it up into the amount of pieces needed from our denominator. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. And here, 8 pieces, let's divide it in half, and then in half again, and then halve that again to get 6, and then halve it again to get 8. Alright, do the same for the triangle. We'll try and break this up again. Does that work? Still need 2 more, so we'll draw a line here. Okay, it's not perfect, but it will have to do. So 4 groups of that need to be shaded. So roughly half the shape. 4 groups of 8. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Right? We'll get into why this represents half a shape later, but for right now, just shade the required amount. Two, 3, and 4. Alright, pretty easy, pretty basic. In the next video, I will deal with how 4/8 ended up representing half of every single one of those shapes. But for now, that's it for this skill. It's a pretty basic type of question, and usually they'll only ask you to do it with a circle or a rectangle or a square. Alright, that's it for me in this video. I will see you in the next one.